probably get some ventilation in there. And they'll probably, wow, I cannot believe this guy
get the
is
ladder over there and
that close to those flames. You can only imagine the heat. I don't know if you've ever experienced the fire up close of this size. I mean, the heat is just incredibly intense.
Yeah, he's got to get on that ladder. Those guys got to get out of there.
That smoke can be just chokingly accurate, you know, and gosh, I can't believe it was that close to the intensity of those flames.
Boy, Doug, isn't this an example, too? Every time the wind blows, we can't see that firefighter up there on the roof because that smoke is so thick. And when people talk about how they get lost, you can sure see that right here, how this guy could get lost on that roof if he were to step very far back into the roof itself.
Into the smoke, and you don't know, of course, where the edge is. And they've got several ladders up on it now. I'll zoom in. I don't know if they're just trying to get this guy now, but I mean, yeah, they're trying, trying to get him off the roof. Are you kidding me? You know, what's amazing is these guys, they come on scene. Yeah, they just got that guy off the roof.
Just as that smoke started pouring up there, too, huh?
Too dangerous of a situation. They started opening up some of these vents up here, and then once it started going, they aired on the side of caution to get that guy off. Sometimes, obviously, too, when these fires get roaring beyond a point of control, they ask for an all clear. They try to get everybody out of the building. This is now a 3-alarm fire, I'm being told now. Here again, Eddie, just repeat that street again here. 167 Chelsea Street here in East Boston. Something Kitchen, I'm being told, is the sign on the front of the building here as firefighters try to gain entry and charge those hoses on the main floor. But this is still a very active situation. I want to go back to the building where it started. That's the one on the right-hand side. When we arrived on scene, for those of you that are just joining us now, it seemed to concentrate the fire on that back porch. You can see the firefighters that are working the back part of that building. The fire and smoke is not quite as intense as it was earlier, but then it jumped to this building here, and the third floor of this, what appears to be a brick building, has really started to gain control on the second building and recess a bit from that first building. Of course, with the fuel or whatever would started, it may have exhausted itself, but there's still fresh stuff for it to burn as they continue to work the second side. What I'm going to do here for a second, if you can bear with me, I'm going to put on an extender. It's going to go darker for a second, and I'll try to gain it up just to see if you can see a better idea of what they're doing in there as they try to gain entry to that third floor. Just going to see if I can't boost up the gain a little bit for you there. The heat that must be coming off this building down there for these firefighters must just be incredible. Again, as I mentioned, there's a couple of air conditioners that I've noticed on the third floor here. So I hope that there really isn't anybody that's living inside here or using it as a residence.
So, Doug, what it looked like is that first building that caught fire was definitely a residence, because on the back side we had lawn furniture. It looked like decks off the back where the fire originally started. The second building, the brick building, it appears to be some kind of what does that say?
Accent kitchens, I think.
So that's a storefront there. Now there could have possibly been apartments up above.
Or storage.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. Again, just to repeat though, the information that we're getting from our folks back there on the desk is that through Boston Fire, saying that upon their early assessment was that there was nobody inside either one of these buildings. Of course, that's when they first arrive on scene. And as we mentioned, we tried to see if there were, people that may have tried to evacuate the building as soon as the fire started. But it was amazing when we came up to this fire. There was really nobody out on the streets, and there had been only one fire apparatus that was on scene. So these guys, we even got here before a lot of the fire departments. So you can see the scramble is still underway. I don't know if they've got a gun deck up on that. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's trying to do, is try to get one of those gun deck hoses going on the top of that truck there. But this is still...
Doug, what's the next building over? What could possibly be threatened there?
Well, again, this is
again?
all speculative, but this over here in East Boston, you got these 3-family homes, these triple-deckers that are mixed among the various businesses. But as I mentioned, you don't see anybody getting out of these buildings, trying to get out onto the streets. And even as I pull out a little bit here and look to the surrounding streets, it's really hard to see whether or not anybody. There are several folks maybe down in here. There's a firefighter, and well, there's somebody heading into their home right now. But as I pull back to where the fire was, we really didn't see any. I got to be honest with you. Maybe it's too early to say, but it does look like the firefighters have got perhaps a better handle on this fire just now. When I say that, because the amount of flames that we first saw when we arrived on scene when this started going is considerably less than it is now. They may be fighting it again from the back side of the building. The problem, again, just to try to give you an idea of where we are, just a couple of blocks over from the airport and from Santarpio's Pizza over here in East Boston. You know that area. We can't really get to the other side of where that smoke was because obviously the flight operations that they have happening over here in Logan. But again, just to repeat, this is what they said, the 3-alarm fire. It started in the back portion of this building over here. And maybe you have to check those words a moments ago saying that it looked like they had it under control.
It looked like that building had kind of tapered down a little bit now, Doug, but it's
kicking back up. It's obviously up into the roof section there. And it looks like they've got, you can see the water being squirted up through the roof now, which means that they must have either firefighters inside or they're getting it from the windows on the opposite side. I don't see any firefighters on this ladder anymore. That tells me they may have made entrance into this window here to try to hit it from the back side. As you can see, they're throwing water on in front of the building here, and it's still going pretty good. It's up into the roof section of this triple decker now. I don't know, Kurt, if you can slide down the street a little bit.
Well, one of the things, Doug, usually when we see these fires, generally we may catch the tail end of it, or you see the remains of the building that's burnt out. But this really gives you an idea of what these firefighters are facing when they arrive on scene. It's incredible what these guys do.
Not only that, you know, the speed in which this thing just gets roaring here. We were on our way down 93, and Kurt says, I think we see a little bit of black smoke. And from the time where he saw a little bit of black smoke to the time that you had heavy fire involved, was a matter of 10 minutes. I mean, it was incredible to see this thing really take off the way it did. What Kurt's doing is he's flying the helicopter back over to the right to give you a look at the back of the building here as we kind of crab our way to the back of the building where the firefighters were actually, seemed that they were attacking it from the ground. There are some firefighters down here with some hoses that are run down back. But again, just kind of gives you an idea. It looked like that fire was concentrated in the back porch of this building here, this triple-decker home. Well, we think it's a home. Again, that we didn't, again, not getting reports of anybody inside that building at the time. But here are the firefighters that are working down in this back alley. Pardon my voice here, but they work this back alley, throwing the water on this on the back portion of these two buildings. Again, we have relatively, and I repeat, relatively light winds. But just to let you know that the reason we can't scoot any further in the other direction is I'm looking at a plane that's going by us in front and below. So we're kind of precariously tucked in where this. Well, okay, Kurt's telling me now that the tower at Logan Airport is now complaining of the smoke that's affecting their visibility over here at Logan Airport. I'll just kind of back out. I'll get off that extender and just kind of give you a wider perspective of this area here. I'll gain down to it's kind of grainy, but as I pull out, and there are the hangars, and there's the smoke that's coming over Logan Airport, and there's the tower. So it's kind of affecting the visibility of the guys up in the tower here, obviously coming into the most busiest time for commuters flying in and out of Boston.
Doug, what's it doing to traffic? Is it causing problems, or it's hard to see
well,
from here?
Here on 1A, as I look up 1A in East Boston, it isn't too bad. The volume of it isn't too bad here as well. So it's not, car traffic isn't too much of an issue, obviously, for them right now. But they've got several ladder crews here, and it looks like they've got now just an ambulance coming up on scene, of course. That could be just to, in the event that any of the firefighters get hurt. But they're still actively working this fire. There's still a sense of urgency here that tells me that maybe perhaps they don't have it fully under control